Can I?
Hey everyone, this is Corinne Lafort, your favorite radio host, your only radio host, and favorite girl, of course, broadcasting to you from the lovely island of Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean on Between the Lines. And you know, I always start my show off with gratitude. Some people may say thankfulness. Either way, I'm good to go. I am just thankful to be here. I'm thankful to see another day. I'm thankful to be alive, to hear the beautiful birds outside. And this morning, I spent time looking at the clouds, and I noticed that some are just standing still while some are moving along. And I found that quite interesting. And I wonder if people ever sat by to notice that. Some clouds just stay put, or you think they're staying put, they just look standstill, but the others are just cozying their way, just moving by lightly. I don't know. And they're bigger, heavier, I don't know. But I found that an interesting concept. I'm going to look into that. Why do some clouds look like they're still and some are just moving along? I'm sure that can teach us something in life. Hmm? Why are some people at a standstill and why are some people moving along? Yes. I don't know. What are the characteristics of those clouds that are moving along and why are those standing still? Interesting. I have with me today a handsome young man. As I keep telling you people, I only have handsome people and great looking people on my show. You see, like attract like. Yes, that's my own compliment to myself. Let me tell you a bit about David Kamau. Is it Kamau, David?
It is. Yeah. Yeah.
Great, I pronounced your name correctly. That's a tick next to me. So let me tell you a bit about David, and what we're going to be talking about today is the guide to getting free for those who accidentally got stuck. And you're going to be wondering, get stuck in what? And a free, how to get free of whatever you're stuck in. So let me tell you a bit about David, and then we jump right into it. David Kamau, and he calls himself David B. We'll find out why. After years of underappreciation, wow, a lot of us could relate to that. David escaped and created something new, adding value to the world, which is what we all should be doing, people. Now, as an author, speaker, and CEO, B has developed an environment where success is celebrated, encouragement is standard, and teamwork naturally happens. Isn't that the ultimate? B is setting out to make changes throughout the world and wants to invite those of you, all of you, with a passion to join him as part of a great story. And clearly I've joined him on this story. Welcome, David, to Between the Lines.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm super excited to be here.
I'm super excited to have you. Now let's start with the name, B. What is going on with that? Are you buzzing and that's why they call you B?
David B. Be like a bumble is
Yes.
what I say. But so that is, a lot of people have known me for a long time, so they've seen me as David Kamau, but I recently have changed it to David B. A little bit easier to pronounce, a little bit easier to say. You did an excellent job with
Thank
David Kamau.
you.
So that's awesome. But yeah, so that's my author name, or my pen name, rather, or my stage name, as some people call it. But yeah.
Yeah,
so
but that's right. I like David Kamau. I like David Kamau. And where are you originally from, David?
So I've actually been born and raised in Colorado, but I've got a whole lot of different, we'll say, races in
I
here.
can tell. I can tell.
Mixture of everything.
Yes, I can relate and I can tell. And that's good. That's good. That means to say you're a wholesome person. You know, you're not of one race, so you can't be like, I don't like this one, or I have discrimination about that one. When you're mixed, like yourself and me, you know, not that you have to be mixed in order to appreciate, because whether you're mixed or not, you should appreciate everybody and be open. But more so when you are, you naturally have that inclination to be open to everyone else, because you just can't select one over the other. You don't have a choice in the matter. Yeah.
And interestingly, you know, we're all multiple races, so there's no one race really out there anymore. So we're all a mix of something.
Exactly.
We're just different shades of brown.
Exactly, different shades of brown. We're on the full spectrum, from the lightest to the darkest. And the thing is, we're all related. Next thing you know, both of us may be related if we really go into our ancestry. You just never know. We're all related
Absolutely.
somewhere, somehow. So we're
Yeah.
talking about, let me remind myself and the listeners, the guide to getting free for those who accidentally got stuck. There's some keywords in there. Getting free. Free from what? A lot of people want to be free from a lot of things. And you say, for those who accidentally, what do you mean by accidentally? Did they just stumble over this? What? An accident is like you didn't plan for it. It just happened by chance, happenstance, as some people say.
Absolutely.
And got stuck. Getting stuck is saying to me that it's like you're stagnant, you're not moving, you're not seeing and feeling progress. So there are a couple of things there that are resonating with me. And I know you have a book coming out, which we're going to feature a little bit later in the episode. But getting stuck, and I like to relate things not only from a business perspective, but how can it relate to your life? I always look at things in that kind of perspective. So let's talk about getting stuck. First, to begin, before you get free, you need to be aware of what circumstance you're in. So give us a bit of your story, because in reading your bio, it said to me that you were underappreciated. And we know, David, that there are a lot of people, everyone feels underappreciated. There's nobody who feels totally appreciated. There must be some aspect of them that are underappreciated. So tell us a bit of your story and what led you to trying to make changes in the world and wanting us to join that journey with you.
Yeah, no, that's a really good question. So essentially, I actually worked in the retail industry for a very long time. So I started in high school and then through college, just got different retail jobs. But I was actually really good at the different positions that I had. So I was in clothing, I was in nutrition. So I was in a lot of different aspects. And every single time, I was generally the top salesperson in the store, or the retail salesperson, or my teams would operate more efficiently than the other stores, depending on whatever metrics that the that particular chain had. And despite on paper all of my numbers were amazing and always tended to be quite a bit above the rest, I would always get stuck at a certain point in the career. So whether it was being as an employee or as an assistant manager or a manager, I could never break out of that role without going to a different company. So then I would go to a different company, move up through the promotions, and then I would just be stuck in one spot, which is very common to people in the retail industry. Despite great metrics, we never really get that recognition that might be deserved.
All right, a couple of things. When you were talking, what came to me immediately, like persons who are actors and actresses, when they enter into that industry and people just know them for a particular role, and it's like they get stuck too. They just get stuck in a rut. And to get out of that, so persons, for example, who were in comedy, whatever it may be, and because you did such a great job, they just know you as a comedian. So to take on a serious role, although they want to be able to take a serious role and go more on the big screen as opposed to a TV miniseries, it's very difficult to break out of that, what people see you as, into that. So it's not only just in retail. I think it happens in all across industries where people naturally, as human beings, you want to grow. You want a new challenge, because this is what we are. We don't like being, I shouldn't say we. There are some people who are quite comfortable, just keep doing the same robotic thing, and they're good with that. But for those of us who seek and who want more and who want to be challenged and who want to test their capabilities, you're looking for more. You're looking for another challenge. And you're saying it's only when you come out from that company and go into another, but you find yourself in the rut again.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's the same thing with actors and actresses. And I want to find out what you did to be able to get out of that rut, that getting stuck. And besides that too, you talk about appreciation now and recognition. just from you saying that, you are looking for something from your employers, your bosses, your managers. Is it that they are appreciating you, but you don't see it as appreciation? There's a cognitive dissonance there. There's a separation of what recognition is, because they may see it as they're appreciating you, they're recognizing you, but it doesn't carry the same meaning for you. So this is why you feel you're not appreciated.
Yeah, and interestingly, so a lot of new research has come out over the last handful of years. They did a big study, and I'm going to misquote it because I don't have the numbers right in front of me, but of what employees see as the most important aspect of a job role, and then what managers typically think the employees see as most important. And managers would generally put it as like pay, benefits are number 1 and 2.
Right.
And then they put recognition and appreciation near the bottom. But employees, when rated, they see recognition for a job well done.
Right.
And trust in like a comfortable work environment higher than pay and benefits.
Right.
And so this is created, it's starting to create a shift in how the workplace is treated, or kind of the environment and the culture that's put into workplaces. However, a lot of times, from what I've seen, the retail industry is far behind a lot of the other industries, like the tech industry or a number of others. So that one's, lagging behind.
Here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking you will, because we all have worked, or I'm going to assume that we all have worked in a company at some point, whether large, small, mini, doesn't matter. Supermarket, doesn't matter. And as human beings, yes, we seek validation. We seek somebody to recognize us. How about we don't seek that validation from external? Because you will never get it. And if you do get it, it will not be in the way that you want it. So how about, yes, you go for a job and you change that mindset. You frame things differently, that you don't seek that, because you will never be satisfied in whatever you get from somebody externally, or a company or a boss or whatever externally. You say to yourself, I need to get a job, or I want a job, and I want this job to be able to learn, to grow, to build my experience, to be a better person, to move up to my higher self, to be expansive, to impact people's lives. I am not seeking for anyone to validate me, for me to be recognized or feel that I need someone to make me feel special. I am special already, and I don't need anyone to do that. You give me my money, I give you the time. You give me my money, and I am great either way. How about we shift that so that we don't go to jobs thinking, I am dissatisfied working here, they don't treat me properly, quarrel, fight. I think the shift for me personally, I don't know how you think about it, but the shift for me must start from within as opposed to looking without.
And I mean, it absolutely can, and that is the ideal way. However, I think it's incredibly important, if you choose to work for somebody else, that you feel appreciated, that you feel trust in your team, that you go to work every day and you're happy. That's how great companies are built. That's what, if you look at Google, one of the biggest companies out there, they do everything they can to make their employees happy. Free food, they've got massage rooms, they have nap pods. They treat their employees great. And a lot of other software industries as well have amazing benefits. And because they know that if their employees are happy, if the employees want to go to work, and they're working for a company with a good vision, that is doing the right thing, that is making positive changes in the world, you're in a relationship. We spend more time in our work environment than we do with our family.
True.
Often.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can create a positive environment with a positive mission that the employees and the employers are on board with, that's how we can create a world of change, of positive growth.
Yes, I agree with you. And there needs to be a balance. You have to do both within and without. So even though,
absolutely,
yeah, so there needs to be a balance. Everything must be balanced in the world. Yin and yang, positive, negative. That's just a law that is universal. So, but you still must work on yourself. So you must feel confident in yourself, because there are some persons that may feel, if I'm not getting that validation externally, then I'm nobody, I'm worthless. You don't want that. You still want to have your self-worth. But at the same time, yes, creating a happy environment is the way to, nobody wants to, yes?
Imagine if your employer every day gave you those tools to grow yourself as a person, to build that self-esteem from within.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. You wouldn't be sleeping at night. You're just excited to get up to go to work every day because you love the environment. You're excited to be there. You wouldn't even want to go home. And there are some places that are like that. And it's coming, you know, David, because when you watch many years ago, 20, 30 years ago, how the work environment was, and some people are still stuck in that archaic type of thinking, you know, where you're just a cog in the wheel, just you know, do what you're supposed to do. I pay you or whatever. But I think the shifting started when technology really started to get more, you know, immersive in people's lives. There was flexibility in terms of work. The globalization started happening where, you know, the internet allowed that flexibility. You can work from home. You have that freedom of information. Even access to information started happening with Google. Everything is available on the internet, YouTube. So there's more of an openness, an ability to be creative, to take initiative, to share your own thoughts. Before, you couldn't share your thoughts. Are you crazy? You're here to work. You have to follow. You have to follow what you were told. You know, I program you to do that. This is what it is. But now people it's not totally there yet. But now you are able to add, as you mentioned, add value. Add value to the workplace, add value to yourself, add value to your team. And people are starting to appreciate your ideas. So for those persons who are stuck, like in a situation like how you felt, what would you say to them to help them to be free? What are your suggestions for them to be free, or to use their talents in a creative way that they can add value?
Absolutely. And so again, a lot of it does come from starting with your own personal development. But the other thing is, as employees, we're the most powerful aspect of a company. So we're the ones that really can make or break, especially the frontline employees. They're the ones that give the biggest image to the company. So I always recommend seek out employers with the right mindset. And that's not always the easiest thing to do. So in my book, which we'll talk about in a little bit, I give very specific ways to find those companies and how to test and see whether this job would be a right fit. And if it's not, we do live in a world where all this information is out there. We can go build that company. We can start that vision. So we're really good in one aspect, but we can't find a company that fits in line with our values. We can start that as well, start a nice heart-centered company, giving your employees those tools to make something great.
And that's what you have started, because just like they said, if you can't find what you're looking for, start it yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Create it yourself. You be the pioneer. A lot of people have fabulous ideas, and they, instead of that, they quarrel, they make a fuss, they point for everybody to do it except themselves. You are one of the few who has taken initiative to say, hey, I am looking for this particular environment. I'm not seeing it in this company A, company B. And I'm tired of moving from here, there, and everywhere, and I can't find the ideal environment that would suit me. And I'm sure there are other people like me feeling the same way. So why not create it?
Absolutely.
Yeah. And you mentioned a word before, relationships. We are not
Mhm.
islands. We have to relate to people. That is what we are as humans. And it's about building relationships, having those long lasting, loyal, credible, those with integrity type of relationships that we can rely on, trust people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So furetail.com. Let's hop across to that.
Okay.
Let me see. Let me see what's going on there. Let me see if I could share this screen here. And why did you use FU Retail, Mister? I'm like,
Absolutely. And so it's really interesting because I get both sides. I'll get people who say, "Oh yeah, I love that book. I love that title. That makes sense." And other people who say, why did you pick that as the title?"
mm-hmm.
But for those who've worked in the retail industry, they understand that that's how you feel. Sometimes it's just,
Yes.
F you, F this place. I want to get out
Yeah.
of here.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's 50, 60-hour work weeks every
Wow.
weekend, every night. You're there in the morning
Mm-hmm.
to in a position where you're not appreciated. Even if your metrics are great, even if you're killing sales,
Yeah.
they still want more.
Yeah.
The light bulbs are out. Why is that out? It's like, yeah, but I'm selling all of your products. Yeah, but you have a light bulb out. You get written up for that. Or, hey, can I take this vacation time? No, sorry,
No.
we have a sale that week.
Yeah.
And it's just so frustrating.
Frustrating. Yeah.
And it's a hard place to be. So that's where the title comes from. And it really is the guide to getting free for those who accidentally got stuck, because no one seeks out. They say, you know what, when I grow up, I want to be a retail manager for 20 years. We take these jobs, we get stuck there, and a lot of people don't realize that the skills that you develop in that retail environment can absolutely transfer into better careers. Careers with a lot more upward movement, or it's all of the skills you need to run your own company.
Yeah. Because if you're giving yourself to a company, remember, just like you said, they're dependent on you. Without the human resources, the company cannot function. So, the thinking is, if I can give all of this 40, 50, 60 hours, like you say, to a company, why can't you put it into your own?
Exactly. And that's exactly what happened to me. Is one day I was just frustrated because I turned a failing store into the number 2 store in the entire company, and it was still everything I was doing was wrong.
Yeah.
And I was sending letters to management because they kept making bad business decisions. And I would send this say, hey, this isn't going to work. I'm on the front line every day. Our customers aren't going to like this. And they'd say, David, you don't know what you're talking about. Just do what we say. And then sure enough, it wouldn't work, which would create more work for everybody else. And I just got so angry, I quit and decided I had no idea what I was going to do. And so I quit. I was looking for other jobs, couldn't find what I was looking for. So I decided to start my own small business. And then 6 months later, that company in that position went bankrupt.
Wow. Yeah.
And
they probably were biting their nails after that.
Yeah. And it wasn't because I left, but it was because I could see the writing on the wall that they were just
going down. Yeah, but they didn't value your opinion, your suggestions enough to be able to make the changes.
Exactly.
And somebody listening to this may say, oh, you are fortunate, you could get up and leave. But there are some persons who may not be able to get up and leave, walk off a job or say, look, I quit, or whatever it is, because they may have responsibilities, family, etc. So not everyone is as fortunate. What would you say to persons in that position?
And they need to get a copy of my book. Because I do go through all of that. There are a lot of different things. So there's something one of my mentors calls the 2-train theory, where you're starting something slowly. So essentially, you're already on one train going a certain speed.
Mm-hmm.
And then you start another company or another small business and another little side gig, and that's your second train.
Yeah,
exactly. So you never want to jump off your train. I did get lucky, I had a few things in place that just worked out perfectly.
mm-hmm.
And the faith to do it, as well.
Of course, faith is important.
But it is much safer if you can get that second train going the same speed as your train and just step across.
Mm-hmm. I encourage a lot of persons to do the same. I'm like, start a side business. I don't care what it is. It could be raising chickens. It could be whatever it is.
Yeah, legitimately.
Just do whatever. And there's no shame or anything, because once you're making an honest living, nobody should make you feel ashamed of that, because that same person who is making you ashamed is going to be coming to borrow from you. So,
absolutely.
So you do your little chicken raising or whatever it is, or growing some herb plants, whatever it is, and selling whatever it is, and it will eventually build. Your gardening, your whatever, and it will eventually build. But start something from the time, even from young. I encourage, as a matter of fact, entrepreneurial activity for young kids. Let them start learning about business from school age, as early as possible. How to manage your money, etc., etc. Let them go out in the store, buy the stuff, plant. What if it's a plant? Plant it. If it's raising chickens, let them learn about raising chickens and how to run a business, how to sell it, everything, the whole shebang. Let them understand it from small. They may not even come out looking for a job to feel underappreciated. They might just decide, hey, I'm going to continue doing this. And next thing you know, they have a whole manufacturing plant or chicken, whatever, what industry, I don't know, just because you've planted those seeds from very, very early. I think it is very essential. This whole school system business, not to divert really, but is really about just programming you to come out to work for somebody else. And we need to really teach in the schools life skills, because when you come out with all those set of subjects and qualifications, you don't have any life skills. You're just programmed. You're just programmed to work for somebody else. And I find it totally ridiculous. And I think I'm qualified to say so. After living on this earth for a period of time and having a master's and a degree and a whole lot of certifications, right? And it's really my life skills. It's really my life skills that's helping me out, So I really believe in coming out and being entrepreneurial from as early as possible. From the time you start to walk and talk, you need to learn to be entrepreneurial. Really.
Exactly.
So you have your book, FU. What is the name of your book? Is it the same as the name of your
the same as the website? Yep. So capital F, capital U, retail.com is the website. And so it's FU Retail, the guide to getting free for those who accidentally got stuck.
Right.
And you're on the site. If you can scroll down a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that. So guide me through.
It shows it on here, but it's essentially for when it's out. It's not out quite yet, so it should be out within the next month or so. For all of your listeners, I am giving who want to jump on this early. If they go to the website, I am going to give a free downloadable version of that book.
So they can click on this.
Yep. Yeah. So download it. It's totally free.
Or they can get it here as well.
Going back up. And then the table of contents are on there.
Yeah. Let me just pause. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
So basically it's step by step, 8 steps that you can go through. I believe 11 chapters. So you can go from, and it doesn't even have to be working retail. It can be working really in anything or in anything in your life that you feel stuck in. It gives you the step-by-step instructions on exactly how to get free.
Whether it's accidentally stuck or purposely stuck or just stuck. You just
exactly.
Once you feel stagnant and you're asking yourself or saying to yourself, there must be more than this, get the book from David B. Doesn't matter what it is, just get the book. Ooh, there we go. All right. So table of contents. Oh, here it is, where they can see much more. Why retail is failing and how is it really killing you. Step 1, upgrading your personal finances. Oh, yes, that is major. Deciding your new life direction. leveling up your marketable skills. So there are things that you need to work on yourself. Everything involves, once it's you, it comes from you. So you need to be working on yourself. Wonderful.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. All right. So here we go. So you're giving a free download for those who are getting it, and they can pre-purchase it here. I see. This is
Yeah, you can pre-purchase it as well. You get a number of extra bonuses on there. 2 1-hour-long one-on-one coaching sessions with me, interviews, extra resources, an interview or an invitation to my personal mastermind group, which is really awesome as well. You get a lot of really good speakers in there. And that's a very limited offer as well. So that's as soon as the book is actually out, everything's going to be changing. But this is the early bird special for those who jump on board.
Yeah. So
before it's actually.
So I think it's 32. It's 32 something. I saw it for. Is it?
Yep, $32.99, and that includes all of that'll be the physical copy plus the $1,000 worth of bonuses.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to spend the money, just sign up and you get a completely free version.
Yeah, and that's fine. And that's great because your purpose is really to help persons who are stuck, who are frustrated and saying, F you. Yeah?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, they're in the F you mode. F you. Yeah, this is awesome. And if persons want to learn more about you, they can read up here. And if they want to contact you personally, how can they reach you?
So everything is on that website, furetail.com. And actually, as well, you can actually sign up at the very bottom there. You can schedule a 15-minute just kind of consultation call with me.
Beautiful.
And that goes right to my calendar.
Yeah.
And I'll give you a call right away.
Great. I love that. I love that. Giving away a nice free consultation, get to know persons get to know you and what you can offer, how you can add value to their lives. So an instant bonus, schedule a 15-minute call with David B today. Yeah. So
absolutely.
Right. Yeah, this is great. So they still get a free download, and they can also schedule a 15-minute call. So for those who don't want to spend the 32 something, and I think the 32 is 32 what again? How many cents? 99, is it?
99, I believe.
Yeah, 32.99 for all those bonuses that he's giving you, the mastermind, which I think is really great. You know, the mastermind and the other bonuses. I think, if you're not willing to spend that, then do it here. But I think you should be prepared to spend the $32.99 because this guy has a lot of experience. Even though he looks young and look like he was born yesterday, he has he has a lot of things to share with you. Don't watch the age. Yeah, they always say a child shall teach them. Yeah, so don't.
I drink a lot of water.
You drink a lot of water. Oh,
I'm older than I look.
Oh, that's the key. Well, look here. You should put that in your book. Drink a lot of water. Drink a lot of water. Oh my goodness. Any final words for the listening audience?
You know, I just absolutely appreciate. I love your podcast. I love what you're doing. It's been wonderful chatting with you. So I was just really excited for the opportunity to be here.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, David, for sharing and for really, you know, I think a lot of people are in this FU mode, you know, they're just so tired and fed up and frustrated. And 2019 is going to be, I don't know, it's just like a wake up year for a lot of people. You know, you've been through the 2000, you know, the year 2000, 2001 going, and it's like, damn it, this is it. It's like, this is it. I am just tired of this. So people are really waking up, shaking off a lot of the dirt off themselves and saying, no, I deserve better. And, you know, the good thing is that at some point, they realize that. They realize that, and they want to do something about it. And I'm glad that you're on my show to be able to share your book. And you can relate because you're at an age, I don't know your age, but you're at an age where you can relate to persons, you know, young and older, so that they can realize that there are people out there who have been there, done that, and they can learn from. So I thank you so much for being on Between the Lines.
Thank you. I appreciate it.